But after all I've said, please don't forget.
Polar Express is directed by Robert Zemeckis and tells the story of a young boy who wakes up one Christmas night and discovers a train is passing by to pick him up. He decides to get on the train on his way to the North Pole to meet Santa Claus with a bunch of other kids and Tom Hanks as the conductor of the train. And various things happen along the way, and when they get to the North Pole, you have to learn how to believe in Christmas and what it stands for. Now, this is a movie that even back in the day was very mixed, received very mixed reviews. But for some reason, it almost became a holiday classic. For some reason, the movie is still being played in theaters, and a lot of people are still coming back to it. It's like a cult classic. And still, there are people who are divided. And there's something interesting about this movie that I think not a lot of people really know about. And I think it's mostly due to the popularity of its source material, I believe. The story is told so many times about a boy who goes to the North Pole and learns to believe. And it is something of a classic. And I've been there. The story was told to me a lot of times in elementary school. Hell, I remember that in my elementary school, when I was a kid, when I was very little, the whole school would clear up the lunchroom and they would get a Promethean board of some sorts and they will play the Polar Express to us. And we call that the Polar Express Day. We read the book, we watch the movie, and we have hot cocoa like in the movie. It's a lot of fun. So I guess for that reason, if people really, I think people had a lot of nostalgia for this movie, and because this came out a long time ago, I guess that nostalgia got to a lot of people, and that's why it's a beloved classic. But I think it's mostly due to the popularity of the source material, because it is a very simple story told in a beautiful light. And that's something that I thought the movie itself did well, is to take that premise, and while there are a few problems in that I did try to expand the story a little too much, I still think it was faithful to its source material as it could possibly get. My problems will have to be that the characters' names, they got like no names, and so it's hard to identify with someone. But you understood them, you remember them, you liked them, but they aren't like memorable characters, and that's my biggest problem. The movie tried to be gimmicky. It tried to give you a lot of cool shots, but it sometimes comes across as dull. While impressive for its time, I would say that the animation that doesn't always hold up as well, but for the most part, this is where I'll get to my positives. Despite a over long movie and a very simple plot that doesn't add much and characters that are not that memorable, the animation itself is beautiful overall. And while there are, as I said, are problems with the animation because it is a bit dated, overall I still think it holds up surprisingly well. And it's something unique back then that was I hope could have been better improved over the years, because motion capture animation performances I thought was interesting, and I'm sad that it hasn't gone a long way. Not a lot of good movies come from that, sadly, so that's probably the reason why. But overall, the animation wasn't too bad here. The music, the soundtrack, beautiful. I loved it. I love listening to the soundtrack over Christmas this time of the year. It's one of my favorite Christmas scores ever. The pacing is great. The energy is there. And the final act is enthralling. And I love seeing all these little details of what the Polar Express is and what it has and what the North Pole is. I love exploring those places. And the opening act, where it set up the characters, I thought it was pretty good, but somewhere around the middle just got a little bland. But the performances from everyone are great, but Tom Hanks steals the show. He was excellent as a conductor. He plays various other characters, and the motion capture animation was by Jet Ski. I forgot his name. This was basically his last movie he as the motion capture actor did before he died. Well, not Tom Hanks, someone else. Jet Ski. He was in Jurassic Park 3. And this movie is dedicated to his memory, so yeah. But overall, Robert Zemeckis tried his best to bring the story to life in the best possible way. There are many problems. It is over long. There's a few dull moments. The characters are not that memorable. The second act has a little bit of pacing issues, but overall, I thought it was an enjoyable movie. Kids will enjoy it. A lot of people are gonna have nostalgia for this movie, and for that reason, I think they're gonna love it. Overall, as a film, it is okay. I don't think it's great, but I think you'll have a good time with it, and I would definitely recommend you guys go see this over Christmas. I'm gonna give The Polar Express a B. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.